Welcome, everybody. It is week 14 of the NFL season, on the verge of the fantasy football playoffs. This is Start Sit Different Day. This is Josh Hudson. I'm filling in for Faith and Joe because they decided that we would get two of the greatest guests in the world and said, you know what? We can't be on the show. And I said, you know what? Your loss. I will gladly take this one. If you have not seen the announcement tweet, I am so incredibly overjoyed to have two of the most entertaining, hilarious people in the fantasy football space join us today. We have from Fantasy Life, Jake Trowbridge, and the one and only Cooter Doodle herself. Yes, it's been a long time since she's been on a stream with us, and I cannot wait. Let's get into it. And there we go. Welcome, everybody. It starts Sit Different Day. I'm Josh Hudson, and with me, the most entertaining duo in all of fantasy football, Jake Trowbridge, Cooter Doodle. How we doing this morning, guys?
So good. Delightful. Wide awake.
I know it's 11 a.m. I got to bring a little bit of energy because, I don't really have any because I work nights. So
I'm drinking out of my
so I'm hoping you guys
kind
of carry the excitement of today.
Yeah, I've got all of my excitement in a mug this morning.
Oh, and I love you're following the Matthew Berry mold and being a company man right there.
Company man. See, for me, my coffee just brings me to baseline. You know what I mean? I drink like 2 cups and I'm like, okay, now I can at least move.
There you go.
Just give me a minute.
Well, the aforementioned Cooter Doodle, Jake Trowbridge. This is Start Sit Different Day, where you, as the fans, quite literally run this entire show. Drop your Start Sit questions. We're here to help you lock up that fantasy football playoff spot. It's the week before the playoffs in most leagues. And yeah, so I'm gonna kind of run through. We've got a little injury report that thankfully my good buddy Ryan Weiss puts together because I don't have the energy to do this shit first thing in the morning. God only knows there's like umpteen thousand injuries to deal with. So let's kick it off here, and then we're gonna get into a little story time just because we're gonna give the people a little bit of time to wake up and roll some questions in. So first off, at the quarterback position, Lamar Jackson doubtful. That sucks. Be prepared to start Tyler Huntley this week. Trevor Lawrence is questionable. It looks like he's probably going to take that all the way up to game time, dealing with the injury that he suffered last week. The running back position, few questionable tags here. Saquon Barkley with a neck injury, Kenneth Walker with the jammed ankle, Leonard Fournette with the hip, DJ Dallas, I believe, with a knee injury as well, and Damian Harris. This feels just kind of like where he's been every single day this year on the questionable list. Saquon, I know, is kind of late with the neck injury. Are we, in the event that Barkley has to miss, are we pivoting to Breda?
I did pick him up. I did go pick him up in Fishbowl just because I was like, I'm not going to leave him on the waivers, But I probably won't start him.
Fair enough.
I think I'd rather pivot over to a guy like Breda than I would, which I'm sure we'll talk about this backfield too a little bit today, but the Seahawks, I don't want any of the Travis Homer versus Tony Jones conundrum because I don't know who that's going to be, but I feel much better about Breda kind of taking over.
Yeah, I guess it depends again on what your choices are for sure. But yeah, I agree with you, Jake.
All right. Yeah, and definitely with Dallas questionable too. I mean, I definitely would not want any of Travis Homer. I think he has something along the lines of 8 career carries. They've strictly used him in a special teams fashion as well as more of a change of pace out of the backfield. Going to the wide receiver position, Davis Mills was announced as taking back the starter's job, and they're definitely not making it easy for him because his top 2 wide receivers, Brandon Cooks and Nico Collins, have been ruled out. Throwing to Chris Conley and Chris Moore and the corpse of Philip Dorsett, maybe. I don't know. I don't know who's on that team anymore.
It's the tight end show, baby.
Right? Hey, we might finally get that Brevin Jordan breakout we've been hoping for all year. At least I have anyway. Treylon Burks out with the concussion. Cortland Sutton I mean, that's not really hurting the already dreadful Broncos offense. DK Metcalf, Amari Cooper, Zay Jones, Jacoby Myers, Deontay Johnson, Rondale Moore, Kadarius Toney, all questionable. I would presume that probably all of them are going to play. Maybe not Toney, because that's just kind of his MO. But in terms of the tight end position, Hayden Hurst's already been ruled out. And hey, look at that. No kickers on designation this week. All right, cool. Awesome.
There we go.
Hi, Faith.
Good morning.
You could have been here. I'm just saying. Had to deal with a nephew's birthday. I think this takes precedent. Just throwing that
family
out.
first. I get it.
We're a second fiddle to a nephew. No,
right?
direct. If this was like a sibling or something like that, I get it. But a nephew?
No, but you see, I have
on.
a feeling Faith is the cool aunt, so I get it. She has to keep it going,
Yeah.
I've
never been the cool uncle, so I don't understand. I've always been the lame uncle, and this is probably why.
Yeah, because you're like, nephews. Yuck.
Oh, it's too funny. All right, so we got a couple questions here rolling in. Let's start. See, look at this. See, Czar agrees. Nephews are overrated. Perfect. There you go. See, and that's why we're going to start with your question first, Czar. All right. It's got a flex 2. CeeDee Lamb, Gabe Davis, Dameon Pierce, Tony Pollard, Jerry Jeudy, Rachaad White. Cooter.
It's between 3 for me, personally. For me, it's between Lamb, Pollard, and White. I don't love Pierce because who does he play this week? He plays Dallas. 4th fewest touchdowns to backs. I just had that here. I didn't know that by memory. And then, I don't know.
Do a show with Matthew Berry. I would assume that you know this stuff.
No, I don't know anything by memory. But for me, it's Lamb, Pollard, or White is my 3. And let's kind of talk through it. But what are you guys thinking?
I'm glad you said no Pierce, because I think a lot of people are going to look at the receivers, as we mentioned, Brandon Cooks, Nico Collins being out and being like, well, he's going to get all of the volume, which might be true. And all of that volume might still lead to 6 fantasy points because he's not going to be able to do anything with it. So I'm also ruling him out. Pollard is my lock-in. Like I want Pollard absolutely. Zeke is a great week this time too, for once against Houston. So Pollard's my number 1. I can't move away from CD. Yeah. Jeudy, I don't want any portion of.
No Jeudy.
Rachaad White's interesting, but I think I would still give the edge to Lamb.
Yeah. For me, so Gabe Davis is one of those guys that's going to be boom or bust. I think everybody's kind of said that over the last few weeks, right? He could be a home run play, but against the Jets, I just don't know. But White, I'm only looking at if Fournette isn't he still injury? Like nobody knows if he's playing.
Yeah, he was a late add to the injury report, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. So I could see Lamb and Pollard, but then I'm just kind of like, that's the guy I'm tinkering in is White, probably looking at that injury and seeing how that goes.
So for me, this boils down to settings. Czar, I'm sure you're still listening. If you want to let us know if this is standard, half PPR, or full PPR. For me, if it's full PPR, Pollard's a lock, and I would probably lean Rachaad White. I hate that the fact that we're like discounting CeeDee Lamb here because CeeDee Lamb is freaking awesome. But everybody knows how bad the rush defense for Houston is. So they give up so many points to running backs and they yield so few to wide receivers as a result because teams just don't pass on them. Well, the Colts are pretty good against the pass as well. And CeeDee Lamb did just fine. And because Dallas is not, they have zero issue running up the score. They're going to do what they do on offense. So, and I think that still gives Lamb a decent enough floor that you can feel comfortable starting him. But I don't think you're going to get like a 25-point bonanza, like an 8 for 90 and a touchdown kind of game.
I think philosophically, if you don't like the idea of starting a running back and a wide receiver from the same team in your fantasy lineup, I get it. And then just, then move away. But I don't have that issue. And like you said, Josh, it's all on paper. They look like a better defense against wide receivers than they actually are because it hasn't been a necessity.
Yeah, and Derek Stingley Jr. is out too. So, their number 1 corner's out. So, this could very well be like, hey, we got to tune ourselves up. We got to get ready because that Philly defense is on the horizon in 2 weeks. I think I feel like I just talked myself out of Rachaad White. I'm going Pollard and Lamb. This is pretty easy for me.
But see, I like that stuff because it I feel like that's what it all is about. Like, you have to take in so many different factors that it kind of helps to have three brains talking through it, you know?
Oh, that's why we do these on Saturdays.
We're like the big brain inside of that. You know, the Ninja Turtles villain where it was like the guy, but then it was just the brain inside of the body. We're all the brain inside of the fantasy body, the larger body. That's what we're doing.
There you go. All right. So hopefully that answers your questions, And real quick, hi, Kelly.
Hey, Kelly.
Hi. All right. Next from Chris. PPR league. He needs to start 2 and for wide receiver 2 and a flex. Zay Jones currently questionable. Adam Thielen or Tyler Boyd. So Zay Jones, the Jags are playing at Tennessee. Adam Thielen in arguably the game of the week at Detroit. And Tyler Boyd, where the Bengals playing? Cleveland, I believe.
Yep.
They're versus Cleveland. So they've got the Browns at home.
Yep.
Cooter, which two you like this week?
I'll be honest. I love Thielen just because of Minnesota's matchup. I would keep an eye on Zay Jones because of the questionable tag, but I don't love Boyd. 1, because it's against Cleveland, and 2, I mean, Chase is back, and I have here that Boyd hasn't had a game with more than 4 receptions since week 7. So, like, it's just tough for me to put Boyd in there unless Zay Jones ends up, your game time kind of iffy there.
Jake.
I think Zay Jones is very comparable to Gabe Davis at this point. Like, he is going to get you a lot, or he's not going to get you much at all. But Tyler Boyd, like you said, I don't think has that ceiling within him with all the guys on the field. So to me, this is very easily Adam Thielen, like you said, because it's Detroit. So I'll plug him in and hope for a touchdown. And then Zay Jones, if he's active, I'll put him in.
Yeah, it's Jones and Thielen for me, obviously, with the questionable tag. Jones, all these guys play at 1:00. So these matchups will be made. This will be made pretty easily for you. It's Zay Jones and Thielen for me. George, half-point PPR, needs 2 between Dameon Pierce, Mike Evans, Jamal Williams, and Darius Slayton. Cooter, where are we going on this one?
Okay, definitely Jamal Williams over Pierce. But I don't know. Half PPR. God, what world are we in that I'm like, I don't know how I feel about Mike Evans? What season is this? I don't know, man. I feel like I would. Who do the Bucks play?
San Francisco, 425.
Yeah, 49ers have more interceptions than touchdown passes allowed this season. So I might go Jamal Williams and Darius Slayton, but I'm also open to hearing your thoughts on Evans. But I think I might be out on Evans this week.
What the hell is going on that Darius Slayton is like the name out of this group for me? I've loved Jamal Williams for a very long time, and anybody who's had him this year is so grateful for all of the touchdowns that he scored. And I get it, but it looked like last week he's starting to maybe take a step back because if DeAndre Swift is healthy, which is something to keep an eye on, then keep an eye on DeAndre Swift's health. And if he is still banged up going into the week, I'd feel better about it. But if he's still healthy, then I feel like Jamal Williams, he didn't get as many red zone attempts last week because Swift was in there getting those. He doesn't get a lot of catches. So I would still go with Evans
and Slayton then?
I'd go Evans. I would still not pick
So we're
Pierce.
Out on Pierce. Yeah. Okay, so we agree there. See, I'm just like, I don't know. Williams can vulture a TD any minute. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I get it. So we agree Slayton. That's the scary part. Do we all agree Slayton here?
Yeah, I'm on Slayton too. I don't love the matchup. Against Philly, the corners have been really good for them. But you got to think that if in the event that Saquon misses this game, or even if he does play, he's not going to be, more than likely, he's not going to be the Saquon that we know because, it's a neck injury. Let's be honest. Who else do they have outside of Slayton, in all honesty? Yeah. And Daniel Jones has showed that he's not afraid to throw deep to him. They'll get some deep passes there. Slay's got some speed. Bradbury is not the quickest, but in the event that Slayton gets lined up on that side of the field, I think he can get behind Bradbury at least once. So I think you can count in one catch for 30 yards at minimum. I'm not saying he's going to score a touchdown, but I think he should be good for at least 5 receptions here, maybe along the lines of 75 yards, something along that. So yeah,
Who else
I'm
could
in
they
on
have?
Slayton.
How dare you just
That's what I'm
forecast Richie James and just shove him to the side like he's nothing, huh? Or
Yeah.
this name that I totally knew before this, David Sills. How dare you, Josh?
Or Isaiah Hodgins,
Dare
right?
you.
Came out of nowhere last week. Yeah.
So here's another way to look at it though. What if George just needs the floor? What if he's just in it for safe? That would be the only time I might be considering Pierce a little bit. Just
I was
because
about
it's,
to, yeah,
you know what I
would
mean?
suggest
Like,
that too,
well,
yeah.
you know, he's
because it
gonna
is
get
half
the value.
PPR, right?
Yeah.
So the receptions in a way don't really matter at that point. You're
Mhm.
still banking on yards and touchdowns. That's why for me, Jamal Williams is pretty much a lock. I'm going to give a shout out to Marvin Eloquin who put this together. He ran some numbers. Jared Goff on the season has 9 pass attempts, or excuse me, 9 catchable balls that have fallen in receivers' hands that have been stopped inside the 5-yard line.
Oh,
and
wow.
all 9 of those receptions, Jamal Williams has scored a touchdown.
It's a beautiful thing.
Okay.
50% of his fantasy points have come from touchdowns to this point.
50%
And
of the
you know
time,
what?
it
I don't
happens
see
every
that
time.
stopping because Minnesota ain't good. So
Well, that's great.
So yeah, for me, this is Jamal Williams and Slayton. George, if you're looking more for a floor, then I'm fine with Williams and Pierce in that instance. But yeah, give me Slayton and Williams here. There's nothing in me that likes Mike Evans. San Francisco, their outside corners have done well enough that they're just getting up in the slot. Guess who runs out of the slot? That's Chris Godwin, and that's really where Tom Brady is looking.
Yeah. I do love Godwin this week, but
yeah,
Evans,
this is a big Godwin week, in all honesty. Especially, I mean, come on. A rookie, Mr. Irrelevant is favored to beat Tom Brady this week? Yeah, come on. That's not happening. Tom Brady's he's coming with
and there was just some stat that was posted, I think, this morning about Godwin being like the busiest wide receiver and 92 catches in like just a couple games. I don't know. I need to look it up because it was a crazy stat.
All right,
but
where's
I'll look
the
it up.
next one?
You guys are going to feel sheepish when CMC is back to pass on 50% of the snaps.
Oh, I'm
Then
saying I'm waiting for it. All right, this should be interesting because we kind of talked about this during the injury part. Travis Homer or Isaiah McKenzie in a PPR. Seattle is home to Carolina at 4:25, and then McKenzie with the Bills versus the Jets at 1:00.
I'm not thrilled about either, but PPR, I'm going McKenzie.
Yeah, I just don't want any part of that Seattle backfield right now. I don't see the clarity, so I'll take McKenzie.
And it sucks because it's such a good matchup with Carolina.
Yeah. It's just, what if it's Tony Jones instead? What if DJ Dallas is healthy enough?
And let's not forget, they signed Wayne Gallman off the street.
Yeah. I'll be honest. I think I have to start Homer in one league this week. So I'm hoping, I've got the glimmer of hope in my heart, but for this one, I got to go McKenzie.
Yeah, it's McKenzie for me as well. All right, Scampers. Half PPR. Need to start 2. Got Shark, Thielen, Najee against Baltimore, or Juju against Denver.
So is that 4 choices? He has Shark as well?
Yeah. They're just saying that Minnesota plays Detroit. So they're in the same game. Well, I feel like everybody's in on Chark this week because of the matchup.
Yeah, it's just a crazy game. I
can't figure out why. I'm still waiting on this. Like, Amon-Ra is a 30% target share at this point. Like, you're just hoping for a couple deep
passes
passes to DJ Chark. And honestly,
well, I think it's last week, right? Isn't it last week? Because he put up a big stat. He got like almost 100 yards last week because of that. And now you're seeing this matchup. I think so, right? Against Jacksonville. And so now he's seeing this, and you're like, well, okay, it's a crap matchup. For real life, for fantasy, it's great. For us, it's great. But for
5 for 98 last week. Yeah, I mean, he still only had 6 targets to Amon-Ra's 12.
Sure.
Like,
you're hoping for
I don't know, and then you wonder how much more they're going to get Jameson Williams involved, because really, like, that's the job that Williams is going to take. It's Chark's. So
for me, I'm in on Thielen out of these. I'm out on Juju. And I just have such a negative feeling about Najee, even though he's been having better weeks. So I might go Chark and Thielen here. That's my thought process.
Yeah, if it was full PPR, I might feel a little bit differently because, as you said, Josh, like it's not that he's going to be getting a massive target share, but it's just you have to rely on a couple of bombs. And I am banking on this. I think it has the highest over under the week, right? Did we say that already?
Yeah, I feel like every time there's a high over under of the week, it comes out to like 30 total points.
Not this game. Don't put that on us, Josh. Don't put that on us. We're going to relish this gross game, especially as a Packer fan. I have to see this, and I have to see how gross it can get and how high scoring it can get against both these defenses. I will go with Chark and Thielen. I'm not out on Najee, I don't think. But again, if this was full PPR, maybe I'll lean that way because then I don't have as much trust in Chark.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to go Thielen and Najee.
And I can see that. I just know I'm out on Juju for sure.
Chark. Yeah, there's nothing in me that trusts DJ Chark and all.
Yeah. So maybe back to that other thing, like floor for sure, Najee.
Yeah. Well, and it's half PPR, so I tend to lean running backs in half PPR personally. All right, from CRR, need one running back and 2 flex spots. It's a half PPR. Choices are Deonta Foreman, Isaiah Pacheco, James Cook, George Pickens, Travis Homer. I think we can all rule out Travis Homer because that's kind of where we're at this week. So 3 out of... All right, first let's start with the running back. We've got Foreman, Pacheco, James Cook. Which one of those guys are you starting?
Yeah, Foreman if he's good and healthy, right? We've got the word down that he's all good to go.
Correct. Yeah, he was taken off the injury report.
Okay.
Then yeah, Foreman is an easy choice at running back for me. So, and then you need 2 flex spots and a half PPR. We trust in George Pickens?
I think so. I don't know. Who are they playing this week?
Baltimore.
Steelers playing Baltimore? God.
Trust is a strong word to put into George Pickens at this stage of the game.
Yeah.
Can you trust that he would do better than Deontay Johnson? Yes.
At this point, I think,
yes. Because by default, Deontay Johnson's going to get like 7 points, and that's going to be the end of it. So George Pickens can absolutely do that. It
pains my Deontay Johnson loving heart that how this season has turned out.
I know.
I think I might go Pacheco. Denver's allowing 100+ rushing yards.
What's tough with them, I think they're also not allowing many touchdowns. And so it's like, dang, you're going to need to rack up some yards in that way. I'm probably...
Well, I mean, the dude runs like he's running towards his last meal. Like, let's be honest. So...
And it's the best pie he's ever seen in his life.
Hey, look who joined us.
Yay!
Special appearance. Hi, Faith.
Hello.
Maybe you can help us here.
I think all of you are beyond help.
We cannot be helped.
Rude.
Yep.
I mean, if I had to choose here, obviously Foreman's the must start. I'm gonna go Pacheco and Cook. I'm gonna stick with all the running backs.
Cook is
here.
one of those ones that it's like I feel like it's just what do you believe about that backfield right now? Because he looked good. Do you believe he's
it's really
over?
the same thing with Kansas City, though. Like, Pacheco's getting all the rush attempts, but no pass attempts. And...
Yeah, I believe in Pacheco. See, that's why I'm just, like, biased there. I believe in him.
Yeah.
See, I don't do analysis, but I'd pick Cook and Pickens just for one specific reason.
Go Dogs.
Yes, sir.
I got you, Faith. I got you.
Yeah,
Boy.
This is a rough one.
This is gross. I'm going to need a little bit of a ceiling in mind, so I will throw George Pickens in there, and I will take Foreman, Pacheco, and Pickens.
All right. Faith, are you taking over the hosting duties here? Or?
Duh.
Hostess with the mostest.
You danged right, Skippy. All right, Chris G's in a PPR league. He's currently starting Swift as his RB1 and he needs an RB2. He has Walker, but he may not play. He also has Jamal Williams. Should he start Williams or Travis Homer, who he picked up on waivers? Cooter.
Yeah, I said it earlier, and that's just what I'm going to stick with. I love Jamal Williams, and I just think he can get, like you were saying, within 5 yards. I think he's the choice of getting touchdowns. And we just don't know yet what Seattle's going to do. But look, Homer could have a good game with the matchup. I feel like I got to go with Williams. Anyone else?
I will say with
He's working on that. I just forgot his name.
With all of the You know what? I'm going to take, where's the button to take myself out of the show, Josh? I'm doing it for once. I'm not going to wait for you guys to do it.
Which is funny because I literally was just talking to myself going, did I just get bullied by Jake Trowbridge because it's my nephew's birthday?
You did.
And then I forgot his name. Well, that's what you meant.
It's even then, right?
Back at me, though. I will say, with all of the hate that we're piling on Travis Homer, he's going to have the greatest game of any running back that has ever existed. But I will still, like, even though I have my cautions about Jamal Williams and starting both of them can be a little dangerous, you're guaranteeing yourself a certain amount of touchdowns by doing that. So I will start Swift and Williams.
Josh.
Yeah, zero issue going both those guys, even though they're on the same team. There's one league where I've been starting Brian Robinson and Antonio Gibson in the same lineup just because I have no other choice. Like they're both getting usage. It's the same thing in Detroit. Swift and Williams, one's doing the catching, one's doing the scoring. Roll with it.
Might be a good stack. You never know.
Yeah.
Our good friend Scampers. In a half PPR, he wants to know, why is Mike Evans dead? Part 1. And is he crazy to start Gabe Davis or Mike Williams over Evans in a must-win week, Cooter?
Ooh. I feel like you have to start one of them against Mike Evans in a must-win week just because of the matchup against the 49ers. And I'm not hating Mike Williams. Ooh, let me see. Justin Herbert plays Miami.
That soft-ass secondary.
Yikes. God, but then, like, Gabe Davis could easily – I know it's the Jets, but it's like all it takes is that one catch that he just runs it in, 76 yards and a touchdown. I'm just going to go with my gut and say Mike Williams.
All right. Jake.
Hey, I am very interested in Mike Williams. This is finally the week that we can get Mike Williams back into your lineup. You're starting Mike Williams, in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree. And here's the thing. In a must-win week, all three of these guys can be, like, insanely boom or bust. Mm-hmm. So, Scampers, I'm praying for you, buddy. But, yes, this is Mike Williams, and it's not particularly close for me. Keenan Allen's back, so I think, obviously, he's more boom or bust as a result of Keenan Allen's presence. But they're going to have to throw to keep up with Miami. And it's... and especially all this like Herbert Tua talk, like the whole back and forth, like who's better, who made the right choice, blah, blah, blah. This is going to be an absolute shootout. I think this game's probably the highest over-under on the slate.
Yeah.
Or should be. Anyway.
I'm excited to watch it. I'll say that. It's going to be fun.
Speaking of Herbert or Tua.
Look at that segue. What a host. See, Josh, that's what you got to do.
I know. She's so much better. Well, hey, I'm the replacement. I'm not supposed to be better, okay?
You're like the replacement. You're not even second on the list. Joe is, but he wasn't here either. Several part question. We'll go with the first part. The Steelers or the Tampa Bay D, Cooter?
Oh, God. Who did the Steelers play again? I know we said this earlier. My gut
Ravens,
says
Baltimore.
Steelers. Yeah, I'm going to go Steelers.
Rookie, but Travis Huntley or Tyler Huntley, excuse me.
Yeah. Both of those are going to be against the backups, right? So.
Yep. Well, technically, Brock Purdy's a third string.
Yeah, I'm not as versed in defenses, so I'm going to say Steelers, but also you guys take that one away because I really don't know.
I'm going to go with the Steelers defense. Thank Watt for being back and making this a little bit easier on making that decision. I don't know. I get that Brock Purdy is the backup, but he still has Debo and CMC to check the ball down to every play and let them just take off and do their stuff. So I'm comfortable with that.
Oh, sorry. I thought Jake was done. My bad.
I'm never done. No, please let him.
Okay, Josh.
All right, here's what I will say. I'm Steelers all the way. Tampa Bay's defense in terms of fantasy has been dog shit all year. Like, I don't understand why people are still rostering this defense. It's so bad. That being said, Ryan has the Steelers as his stream of the week, and his stream of the weeks have been not so great because the second team that picks tends to go off.
Oh, wow.
But they're averaging Baltimore's averaging 2 sacks allowed per game, and that was with Lamar, so you can only imagine with a backup quarterback. And with TJ Watt back, like they're averaging like at least 1 sack and 1 turnover a game. And that's ultimately what you're looking for from a streaming defense. So give me the Steelers in this matchup.
Speaking of Lamar Jackson, somebody shared this stat in our Club Fantasy Writers chat, and I found it absolutely intriguing as a Bulldogs fan. In 2016, Lamar Jackson won the Heisman. Quarterback for UGA is currently a Heisman finalist, Stetson Bennett, in 2022. They were both born in 1997. Stetson Bennett is 25 years old. He's the oldest quarterback to ever win the SEC championship. So that just tells you how young Lamar Jackson was.
Ice Cube is primarily an actor to both of those people. That's
what
terrible.
Talk about a segue. All right. In a half PPR, we need a flex between names that I feel like we just talked about. Mm-hmm. James Cook, George Pickens, or Travis Homer. He's starting Swift, Pacheco, and Foreman already. Cooter.
Oh, yeah. This is literally my George Pickens ceiling from the other question.
Yeah. And that really was the same question. Yeah.
I feel like they drafted the same team, or it's the same. Is it the same?
No,
one?
it's the same
person.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So we were split on Pickens and Cook here, right?
Yeah, that's where we were split on.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was ceiling. It was Pickens. Floor for Cook.
So basically, just tinker from 11:59 or whenever minutes before, and then whenever it sets, that's your answer. That's how I do it sometimes. You ever do that? You ever play Russian roulette with your tinkering?
No, it never worked out for Ruxin on the league, so I try to avoid it at all costs.
Also, there was 2 other parts to this question. Totally skipped over. My bad. Yeah. All right, part 2, Herbert or Tua, Cooter?
I'm going Herbert. I like him. I love it. I want some more of it. Let's do Herbert.
I tried so hard. I can't rise above it. I don't know what it is. About that little guy's loving.
But I don't hate Tua. I just love her. I love Herbert.
I don't have as much of a love baked into my skin for Herbert, I think. And so I am going to go with Tua here. It's close, though, with Mike Williams back. Herbert has been so much better historically this year and last year with him in the lineup. So it definitely, it's a lot closer for me, but I'll take Tua and just trust in his weapons.
Josh.
Here's the only reason I'm going Herbert. Miami's starting left tackle and right tackle are out. And that alone is just going to put so much pressure on Tua to make even quicker decisions. I don't think he's going to really have the amount of time that he's used to having to get the ball out. Give me Herbert in this instance, especially against a soft Miami secondary. And like Jake said, he gets Mike Williams back, and he has the full array of weapons here. Mm-hmm. And this is what we've wanted from Herbert. So,
all right. Flex 1. Juju, Brandon Ayuk, or D. Smith?
Devonta Smith.
Mm-hmm. I'm going Devonta Smith against the Giants.
Yeah, Ayuk is unstartable for me right now with Brock Purdy in the lineup. We talked about not loving Juju anyways. Devonta Smith it is.
Josh?
Yeah, I don't love Juju anyway. I don't care really who he's playing. Give me Devonta Smith.
Look at that. Our first agreement all around across the board.
Wow. Which means Devonta Smith is going to do terribly.
Yeah.
Because that's how consensuses work around here. All right. Our good buddy Carrington wants to know, my name is Jeff or Travis Etienne? Yes. Or Travis Etienne in a PPR, Cooter.
Oh, Etienne against Tennessee, I don't love. And then we just said they're playing.
Chargers.
Yeah.
I think the big thing with Jeff Wilson is that we saw his usage just completely fall out last week, and Mostert just kind of usurped that entire role. But the way that game got out of hand, I feel like that had more to do with it than anything personally. Yeah,
I'm gonna go Wilson just because of matchups, and then like you said, maybe that was just I don't know. We'll see how it goes. I will go Wilson.
I mean, if you see it another week, then I think it's time to worry. Yeah.
Jake.
Yeah, I'm going to side with my ball blast co-host, Michelle Majuk, who was basically saying, like, don't freak out because Jeff Wilson played the 49ers. Don't start running backs against the 49ers and you won't have a problem. So start Jeff Wilson this week. ETN, yeah, it's tough. In full PPR, it should be slightly okay because the Titans, they do give up a fair number of catches and receiving yards to backs, but I'd still take Wilson.
Josh.
Yeah, I'm going Wilson here. I think this is kind of the season. This is the part of the season where, that rookie wall comes into play. Yeah. And let's not forget that, yes, this is Travis Etienne's second year in the league, but he missed all of last year. This is essentially his rookie season. And we've kind of seen like that rookie wall starting to hit with him. And I think you're going to run into it again here with the Titans.
Okay. I feel like CR just wants somebody to hold his hand and walk him through setting his lineup. Because he just needs to confirm whether it's George Pickens or James Cook in his last flex for half PPR.
I'm telling you, Russian roulette it. Right a minute before, just tinker, and then eventually the lineup will be decided. It is decided, It is decided.
It's week 14. So CRR, it's week 14. Do you feel like you need to slam the door shut on your opponent right now, or are you just hoping to scrape by? If you're hoping to scrape by, it's James Cook. I think we've all decided you just need some sort of safety. I'm saying if I need to swing for the fences, it's still going to be George Pickens. I would err on the side of George Pickens.
Doesn't everybody always want to slam the door shut on their opponent?
Now, sometimes you just want to nudge them away. You just want to kind of push them over there for a minute.
You just want to embarrass yourself.
I'm not one of those people who likes close matchups or even close football games. If it's my team, I need it to be a blowout. If it's somebody else's team, I don't care. Sure, it can be a close matchup, but if it's my team, I need a blowout either way, because I could either blowout, we're winning. The most stressful Super Bowl to me was 28-3 because I was like, all right, we lost. And then the worst thing you can do is give a fan hope, because then 9 times out of 10, it just they get so close, and then they throw the ball at the 1 yard line and have it intercepted by Malcolm Butler.
Or Tom Brady goes in and scores with 8 seconds left against the Saints. Yeah.
Can we make this a grievance episode against Tom Brady for right now? He's done
that show comes up in 3 weeks.
Yeah.
The airing of the fantasy grievances.
It's the best week. It's the best time.
It really is. It's 2 hours of everybody complaining about terrible seasons, about their league mates, about how poorly they did or how well they did, but then we usually get those people off real quick. We don't want to hear.
Here's what I will say about
George
Pickens.
Good news.
More often than not, anytime a wide receiver comes out and says, "Give me the fucking ball more because I can make plays," it feels like they end up getting peppered with targets. I mean, it happened a couple weeks ago with Deontay Johnson, and now Pickens is voicing his opinions. You could very well see a 10, 11, 12 target game for Pickens. So I think that'll increase his upside.
All right, how about this?
Everybody knows that he can make every freaking catch. So
you want to just say go Pickens? Or he can ask us again, and we'll come back to it in 3 minutes. We'll come back to it. Circle.
Here you go, Jake.
Oh, Scampers, thank you.
Good. The voice of reason in the chat. Thanks, Scampers.
And the resident Falcons fan, Elixirs, I will talk about 28-3 if I want to. It's a very stressful time.
As a Saints fan, that's all I really have this season to talk about is that. I mean, what else can I talk about?
Yeah, because we have your first round pick.
I know. God,
I will take any instance to remind Saints fans about this.
It is like the definition of I remember seeing that alert come up on my phone, and I'm like, okay, maybe I don't know what I'm talking about. What's happening here? And so in our home chats, we're talking about the trade, all the Saints fans, and we're like, what is happening? And none of us understood. And so whatever, I'm bitter.
I feel like that's every trade the NFL makes is people go, what, how?
What are they thinking?
We just say this would never get done in my home league, and then we vent about it.
And then you look at your home league trades from September. Have you guys done that?
Oh yeah, this would happen.
Somebody sent a screenshot in our league, talking trash, and it was somebody had traded him, Josh Jacobs, for Darnell Mooney, September 2nd. And I'm like, oh, brutal. That was a win. That was a win for the Josh Jacobs.
Yes, it was. All right. Keontae Ingram or Nick Westbrook? Cooter.
Scampers. I don't know, Scampers. I don't know. Let me look up some
this
information
is some like
here.
22 league like deep level shit right here.
What are we doing, Scampers? All right, let's see.
That's what happens when you let a cat play fantasy football.
So we have, so Ingram running against New England. And then we have Westbrook, wide receiver versus Jacksonville.
I hate that he, as soon as we're talking about him going against the Patriots, not to give the Patriots any sort of actual credit, because I will never officially do that. But in a roundabout way, I will say that Keontae Ingram is not a great play. I don't even know what his usage has been to this point.
It's been
nothing.
Think it's
much.
Yeah,
so
they ride James Conner. If James Conner is healthy and playing, he gets 90% of the touches, 95% of the touches more often than not.
So you got to hope for a
Ingram's
mid-game
really
injury
for me.
to James Conner to get anything. And then you still don't have a matchup to fall back on. So Nick Westbrook, Akine for me.
Yeah,
Agreed.
I guess it's got to be.
Okay. All right. Well, then, that was easy.
Thanks, Scampers.
I feel like I need that Staples button. All right.
Oh, I'm not at my home desk. I have it. Shit.
What's behind you? Do you have a nerdy setup at your mom's house too?
No, this is her guest room. It's probably some sort of like European Asian art and then a bunch of bobbleheads and shit. I don't fucking know.
It's definitely not Spider-Man shot glasses.
No, there is a couple, like there's a Spider-Man bobblehead, there's a Spider-Man.
Is that leftovers from you?
Actually, no, I think those are Kyle's, my little brother's.
Oh. All right, who would you rather pick up, Huntley or J.K. Dobbins? He currently has Watson, Lamar, and he's streaming Goff this week in a 1 QB league. His running backs are Eckler, Saquon, and Rashad White. Cooter.
Go get Dobbins.
Yeah, I was going to say Dobbins.
Not Cooter.
Well, I was going to say Dobbins too. I'll agree. I'll say Dobbins too because, one, I don't hate Goff. I mean, you got what you need there, and Lamar could be back, hopefully, right? They said days or weeks. I'm hoping it's days because I have him, and it needs to be days, please. And then, I mean, are you going to start Dobbins? I don't know, but I'd rather have that for the playoffs, personally, as a backup if Saquon ends up being hurt.
Jake.
Yeah, there's no such thing as having too many reasonable running backs in your roster at this point because anything can happen. And like you said, Goff is, to me, great this week. Like he's a great play this week against Minnesota.
And could be. I don't know what their matchups are, but I mean, could continue to be, right?
Yeah.
Well, I think his next two after this week are on the road. So he's not viable the next 2 weeks. Road Goff is not fun.
Against Carolina, I will still take my chances with Goff, but against the Jets on the road, you're right. I would not do that. But yeah, either way, I'm still better with Dobbins, I think.
Yep.
Yeah. While Jake said there's no such thing as too many running backs, there is too much. There is such thing as too many quarterbacks, especially in a 1 QB league. Yeah. So, you don't need to worry about Huntley. I get it because you have Lamar, but you're already stashing Watson. Ideally, in a perfect world, he knocks off the rust after this week, and he's the Deshaun Watson that we remember from 2020. But you really don't know. So, right.
If it's redraft, I'm going to be honest. If it's redraft, I'm probably dropping Watson, picking up Dobbins, and picking up Huntley. But
you can do that too.
That's just me.
I mean, if it's redraft, I'm just never picking up Watson.
Mm-hmm.
But he would be.
You're not starting him this
moon.
Into the moon. No, because that would destroy the beautiful moon, and the moon doesn't deserve Watson.
He doesn't have that much power. He would only take a little tiny chunk out of it. The moon would still be fine.
It's like watching Night at the Museum when Owen Wilson's character, like the little miniatures, go chasing after something, and they think they're going to do this like big damage, and then all of it's just like this little think.
I mean, I don't like that he's being compared to one of our finest working actors, but I get where you're going with the analogy.
Only because I watched the new animated Night at the Museum yesterday, so it's fresh in my head.
So speaking of damage that you think, can I just go on a segue off topic one? So lightning struck our porch like a month or two ago, and it was very loud. Like I thought it was a gunshot, and we didn't know where it struck for the longest time until we found this tiny little like this big little of concrete. Wouldn't you think it would be way bigger? if it struck. Like, I just thought it would have blown a crack into something. It was it looked like you just took a little hammer, like, pop. Anyways.
Speaking of things that look way bigger,
That's
or should look way bigger.
Where are we going?
Josh!
Where are we going?
Oh, the segues into all of this never cease to amaze me. I freaking love it. All right. This episode of Start Sit Different Day is brought to you by Manscaped. Manscaped is the best in men's below-the-waist grooming. Offers precision-engineered tools for your family jewels. Manscaped recently launched the ultimate men's hygiene bundle, the Performance Package. Yes, the Performance Package. It does include the Lawnmower 4.0 trimmer, the Weed Whacker ear and nose hair trimmer, the Crop Preserver groin deodorant, the Crop Reviver toner, the Performance Boxer briefs, and a travel bag to hold all of your goodies. Now, Manscaped was gracious enough to send myself this entire package, and it definitely helps your package. That's all I'm going to say, because it's absolutely fantastic. The briefs don't ride up on you. They secure everything nice and neatly. The ear and nose hair trimmer is the one that I like the most because, you know, as you age, like hair just kind of starts growing everywhere and you need to trim it up and make yourself look a lot more presentable. And I like it. It's nice and does its job just fantastic. So join over 5 million men worldwide who trust Manscaped with this exclusive offer just for you. As you can see on the ticker below, go to manscaped.com, enter in the promo code CLUBFANTASY, and get 20% off your entire purchase and free shipping worldwide. Once again, go to manscaped.com, use promo code CLUBFANTASY for 20% off and free shipping at manscaped.com.
Mr. Worldwide. Mr. 305.
I'm going to be honest. I don't think I've ever seen a smoother segue into an ad read.
Thank you.
That was amazing.
Almost
I was like, wait,
as
where
smooth
are
as
we?
you'll be after using Manscaped products.
There you go.
Hey!
Way to get on board, Jake.
Well done. Well done. I refused to do the actual reads because I was like, that would just be weird. But I have no problem being weird to
That was
segue into
perfect.
them. Thank you. All right. Speaking of weird, Scampers wants to know if we can get a fantasy three-way between the Minnesota, Detroit, and Chicago with all of their bad defenses and good offenses.
That would
I
be
think
fun.
it's hilarious that you're putting Chicago in the good offenses category.
Maybe it was the bad
Maybe just
defenses
Justin
category.
Fields into this, but you know.
Random quick question. CRR wants to know, what is the best player props site?
I can't do stuff in Louisiana, but I see BetMGM everywhere. So I'm guessing that's one.
Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and be a company man and suggest you use BetMGM. Download that to your mobile device. It makes betting safe, easy, user-friendly, whatever else they want to say about it.
Are we sponsored by BetMGM now?
I am.
Go ahead, Jake. Say what you got to say.
Say what you need to say.
You know, honestly,
like
I
say
can't
what
in
you need to
Wisconsin
say.
do anything outside of like, I really can't, like, I can't, we're in the same boat, Coots, because I can't do anything here. I have to travel to Illinois. I have to get my car and drive to Illinois if I want to do any of this stuff for real. Otherwise, I use Underdog for like their pick'ems and stuff, which is great.
Yeah, that's what I use as Underdog.
I was gonna say, 'cause we can't do it in
use
Florida
anything else
either.
in Florida, yeah. But I know
We
a lot
used
of
to be
people
able
are
to.
hopping on the Prize Picks bandwagon as well for player props. I personally haven't used it, so I don't know. I've used Underdog, and you know,
I don't get
like
how
it.
all of the laws work. If there's any lawyers in the chat or politicians, I don't get why you can do one site but you can't do another. Is it just because they slipped somebody some money and they were like exclusively this state? You know what I mean? It's got to be like, it makes no
Cooter,
sense.
Yeah.
This
Everyone.
Scampers.
Oh my god. Man,
I love our audience.
These are starting to get sold on this Manscaped and CRR.
Hey, go to manscaped.com and use
Uncomfortable
promo code
moments
CLUBFANTASY.
commercials.
incredible.
Oh, Lord have mercy. All right. Elixirs, our good buddy, with the question of the day of the day. Are we starting Younghoe Koo or Cole Kmet this week? He needs some upside.
This is a trick question, Elixirs. I'm not
I
falling
know
for
Elixir's
this.
is a very loyal follower, and this is really
Yes.
just like a troll.
He just
question.
likes to-
I'm not
yes.
falling for your bye-week trickery. I
Also,
almost did, though.
he knows how much Josh hates kickers and how much Club Fantasy historically hates Cole Kmet, so he just likes to troll.
Gotcha. Okay, then I love you, Elixirs. That's great.
Big Trev wants to know Raheem Mostert or Rashad in a full PPR. If Lenny plays, if he doesn't, Cooter.
Yeah, I think that's pretty much what my decision would come down to. If he's playing or not, it's going to decide which one I pick. So just pay attention. And I don't know if their games are at the same time or not. Yeah, I would lean White. But if Lenny doesn't play, I'm definitely I'm not just leaning. I'm jumping. I'm falling towards White.
Yeah, I think I'm interested in probably Rashad.
Oh wow! Oh my God! Jake's internet just completely went out again.
Oh,
what are we doing
no.
What are we doing?
You did him dirty like that.
I was trying to get it in right before you answered.
Time. It's the worst. Oh! No! Just. How does that
the house's internet? I'm working on a foreign territory here, so
Is it bitter? Did the medicine taste bitter? I hope it did.
Oh my goodness.
I'm only. Oh my goodness.
She's the captain now.
Look at me.
I'm so grateful for that moment. I'm only interested in Rashad White if Lenny doesn't play, and even then, I'm having a tough call putting him into my lineup. I might still err on the side of Mostert, actually, just based on the matchup. I just really don't like the matchup for Lenny and Rashad.
Yeah, I hear you.
It's full PPR. I'm going Rashad White.
Torn.
Brady dumps it off to all the running backs. So it really doesn't matter which of them is
But it's also Brady,
I'm
who hasn't looked good unless he's in the last 3 minutes of the game. What you gonna do?
I'm sure that's what this game will come down to. So.
Yeah.
Sorry.
You singing Natalie Merchant over there? Is that what's happening?
That is what's happening.
Okay.
She said I was torn, so no, it was Natalie Imbruglia.
Imbruglia. Yes, it is Imbruglia.
So hit the button.
I'm sorry.
Me out.
Did I know an artist that Jake, our resident musical maestro, didn't know?
I think Manscaped is still in my head, if I'm being honest. I think.
All right, 7 minutes to go. Mr. Scampers wants to know Josh Reynolds or Jamal Swagnew. Cooter.
Scampers. I don't know. You doing this to us again? All right, hold on. Let's see.
Agnew against Tennessee. I feel like this is only a question because Agnew scored last week. That happens literally once a year.
And I'm never going to use that nickname
to you, Josh.
By the way,
that is Swagnew to you.
Let's see.
I won't do it. I won't say that.
But Reynolds is against Minnesota.
I mean, if you need a dart throw, for me it's Reynolds. But
is this half or full PPR, Scampers?
Yeah, against Minnesota, that. Like we said,
the only way this matters is if you're getting points for return yardage.
But it's supposed to be the better game.
You know what? I'm gonna tell you right now that our helpful fantasy life start sit tool does list Josh Reynolds as the correct play here. So obviously that's what
you're a true company man, Jake. Jordan would be proud.
He is.
And against Minnesota, I feel like.
I love how your microphone covers up most of it.
It basically does.
I really did not think that through.
You gotta recenter your camera. That's all.
And it wouldn't be in the way.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I would go Reynolds here, Campers.
All right. Half PPR. He's starting Tannehill and Pickens. With Fields on a bye, would you play Darnold over either or put James Cook in that slot? Cooter.
I don't believe I would put Darnold in. And I just feel like you got to go QB. Yeah, I would go Tannehill. And yes, ouch, Fields on bye. I like it. I like what you got. I wouldn't change it.
Jake.
I could never, in good conscience, get myself to admit that Sam Darnold is a good play in any week, even if that might be logistically true. But I don't think it's logistically true either this week. So let's stick with what you got.
Josh.
Yeah, I'm staying with Tannehill.
And look, see how he worded it differently this time? And we all went Pickens. Do you see what he did to us? CR.
Wearing us down.
He has. He's just chipped away. And that way it was formulated so perfectly. Just stick with what you got. Yeah. Oh, CR.
All right. Cesar, start 1 RB, 1 wide receiver. Easy for me to say. Foreman, Rashad White, Sam Michael Perrine, DJ Moore, Palmer, or Jerry Jeudy, Cooter.
So Foreman, I think we kind of talked about this one before. Foreman, and then I think I would go because Mike White's playing. I'm gonna go DJ Moore. Mike Williams. Sorry, brain fart.
I was like, wait, what?
Brain fart.
Is Mixon for sure in or out this week?
He's not on the injury report.
Okay. Yeah, then that makes it pretty easy to wipe out P. Ryan. So Foreman for sure in the running backs. And yeah, even though my reticence about Sam Darnold remains true,
he knows how to throw the ball to DJ Moore.
And that's it. And if Mike Williams was for sure out, I would go with Palmer still. I love the upside of Palmer, but otherwise DJ Moore.
Yeah. So if something changes, but otherwise, yeah, DJ Moore for me.
Yeah, I'm going Foreman and Moore here. I mean, I don't love banking on Carolina Panthers offense, let's be honest, but DJ Moore is literally their only passing target at this point. And I know Tariq Woolen, the rookie corner with Seattle, has played really well, but they're going to move around DJ Moore, and I think they can move him away from Woolen. But yeah, just like you guys said, Palmer, to me, he's great, and he's filled in admirably. But as long as Mike Williams is back, you're looking at a very, very decreased target share for Palmer. So you're hoping he hits on 3 of 5 targets, and that's just not worth it to bank on.
Sar is saying that starting 2 Panthers feels illegal, and it is. The cops are on the way as we speak, but you have to do it. You gotta
barricade the doors.
That's a thought of the police. NCR has kindly informed us that he used Jedi mind tricks. Not cool, bro. Nah.
Hey, if you're not subscribed, CR, hit that subscribe button on Club Fantasy's YouTube page, because once we hit 500 subscribers, which I sincerely hope that we do by the end of this year, I am giving away your choice of a Stephon Diggs signed Bills jersey, a Mark Andrews signed Ravens mini helmet, or a Nick Chubb signed Cleveland Browns jersey. We'll spin the wheel.
Can't turn that down.
You pick one of those 3 prizes. So, yeah. Tell your
How
friends
many YouTube burner accounts are one allowed to have?
You know what? Hit as many as you want, Jake. Hit as many as you, as long as they're public and I see it. And if they're not, just hit me with a DM and say, hey, I subscribe.
We are 15 subscribers away from 500 people.
Oh, easy. That's easy. Y'all got that. I got to say, your chat is fun. I like these guys.
Yeah, our Saturday morning. Carrington just wants you to send him the Diggs jersey, Josh.
Hey, you know what? If the wheel likes you, buddy. If the wheel
wheel fits. All right. CR wants to know, in his league, kickers get -3 points for missing the extra point or the PAT. Is that BS, or is he just whining that it's BS?
Yes is the answer.
Yes, you know how I know that? Because that's a league in my home rule, or in my home league.
It's a rule in your home league.
It's a rule in my home league. Manscaped. It's I don't know if
use
it's possible.
Manscaped so
it's
your jewels won't
brain.
Does it somehow get to the stuff inside of your body too? I hate this rule. We have a bunch of dumb rules. Coots, you know this. I complain about this all the time, but I also get the stupidest. You can only pick up 12 people off of waivers the entire year.
That is
but this is a rule as well, and this is the least egregious rule, but it's very stupid. So CRR, you're not wrong in that.
So are
I'm
y'all
gonna
in the
say,
same league?
in the leagues that I commission where I actually have kickers, I do this because the way that I've always done it is if like you make a field goal from like up to 30 yards, it's basically 3 points. Well, if you miss it, you're missing 3 points. If you get a 40-yard field goal, you get 4 points. But if you miss it, you miss 2 points.
Oh, that's dirty.
Yeah,
That's so
I tier it out
scary.
like that. Yeah.
But I mean, it makes
It's
people
basically
care
it's a
about
range
kickers.
of difficulty, right? Well, if you miss a 50,
which is
you
the
only lose 1
ironic
point,
part, Cooter.
Yeah.
Cooter just said it makes people care about kickers. In this stream currently, if there is anyone who cares the least amount about kickers, it's this guy.
Oh, really?
This guy.
Oh, so you're just like
kickers
just
don't
sprinkling
matter.
chaos.
Oh yeah,
yes.
absolutely.
He's Loki of his fantasy football league.
Great. Oh, I'm not gonna lie, I would be purely like so bummed if my team was killing it and I just had a kicker miss 2 long field goals. I would be, and that made
but
me
you only lose if they miss 2 long field goals. You only lose 2 points.
Well, no, because you said they lose the. I'm sorry.
No. So like if they kick it, if they make a 50-yarder, they get 5 points. But if they miss it, they lose 1 point. 40,
I thought
you get
they
4, you
missed-
lose 2.
Oh,
Yeah.
I thought
Yeah.
they.
Oh no, the easier the kick, the more points you lose. That's how I do it.
Yeah, got it.
Yeah.
Understood. I thought the further away that they go for 50, they miss 5. Okay.
Oh no, I'm not that mean.
Okay. Well.
I mean,
There's a man who's like, you miss more as your closer.
Look, you
Yeah.
should make chip shot field goals. That's the way that
You're
I
right.
look at it. If you
You're right.
miss chip shot PATs field goals, you're going to lose a ton of points.
But
plain
you're
and
not
simple.
punishing the kicker. You're punishing.
I am
the
punishing
player.
the kicker. I'm punishing the person that rostered that kicker.
Yeah.
So I just
Oh,
want to
that's
state for the
brutal.
record, Jake just did this, and my brain automatically went, if you use
Manscaped.
Manscaped, it'll look bigger.
Oh
Just
god.
gonna put that up for the rest
Yeah,
of the
just keep it
stream.
scrolling.
All right, it's afternoon, people. All right, real quick, between lighting around this one and the next one, CMJ Perrine with or without Mixon or Najee, Cooter.
I mean, I play P. Ryan if Mixon is out. Otherwise, I'm going Najee.
Jake.
Yeah, definitely Najee if Mixon is playing. Even then, I think I'll still go Najee for the safety again.
Josh.
Najee's definitely the safe bet. I will say our good friend I can't even speak right now. Britt Flynn. In her week 14 hot takes article said that she's basically calling for P. Ryan to not lose much of his usage here. With Mixon coming back, obviously he's going to be, the workhorse, but they're still going to work P. Ryan in. Like P. Ryan has been a lot better when given the same exact workload as Joe Mixon. So take that for what you will. But definitely Najee feels like the safer play. I will say that.
Mm-hmm.
All right. And Cooter and Carrington wants to know who's getting flossed this week so he doesn't get flossed.
Yeah, great question. And I'm just going to have to say Alvin Kamara will not be getting 48 yards or more, so he will get flossed this week.
For those
confidently
who
say
don't
that.
know, please explain what getting flossed means.
Yeah, so this container of floss has 48.1 yards.
I love how she just has that handy.
Yeah, it's just right here. It has 48.1 yards. So if a player gets fewer than 48.1 yards a week, they've been flossed.
How did that come about?
I just made a dumb tweet about some player not getting enough yards and how it was less than this floss.
Carrington, way to pay attention to Cooter's tweets. That's how you properly research for guests.
It's
On
one
your
of the
show.
greatest
Josh, take care
recurring
of it.
segments out there, by the way. Just want to.
And everyone, you should floss. It's not always a bad
Flossing
thing. You
is
should
important.
be flossing. We just don't want our running backs to do it,
Well, for their dental hygiene, yes, but for their running yards, no. On that note, dental hygiene is important. This has been Start Sit Different Day with Josh, Jake, Cooter, and then myself a little bit later on. Cooter, before we dip, tell everybody who you are and where they can find you.
You can find me at Cooter Doodle on Twitter, and you can follow and subscribe to the Fantasy Life newsletter at fantasylife.com.
Jake.
Yep, exactly what she said. But also, if you're interested in it, go check out the Ball Blast Fantasy Football Podcast and Drinking and Talking Fantasy Football.
Also, at Jake Trowbridge is where you follow him, because at Cooter Doodle doesn't work for him.
Nope.
But it will redirect you over to some much better overall content. So you might want to do that anyway.
I thought you were going to say it will redirect you over to Manscaped.
Manscaped.
Come on, Jake, get with the segues. Jeez.
I'm sorry. I'm failing Manscaped right now.
What is that? What is it, Elixirs? What is it?
Hair hygiene.
Yes. Your fingernails. It's also important.
There you go.
Don't have to wash your hair if you don't have any. Manscaped. I think that's on the sheet, right? Did they write that there?
No, but I think I'm going to use that now. Oh my goodness. I love you guys. This has been so much fun. This is what I needed to start my day on a Saturday.
I'm glad I was able to come pop in because I was
Me too.
I was sad about missing, but then
I told
changed
Joe,
around
and he's
here.
like, "Damn it, I have a freaking work thing," and I've like every single time we have Cooter on, he never shows up, and I'm just like, missing out, man, missing out.
What if you don't have any?
Go shave somebody up. No.
Oh my god.
Oh my goodness. All right, and
On
with that,
that
we're going
note-
to run this video really quick. Thank you, everybody, for showing up.
Josh, hold your horses, bro. Go follow Club Fantasy FFL, at Club Fantasy FFL on Twitter, on Instagram. Go subscribe on YouTube if you are not already. Like Josh said earlier, he's going to give away your choice of something cool. He said a lot of things. I don't remember what they were. Go follow Women of Fantasy Football at women_FF. I am Faith at FF_Leap of Faith. That is Josh Hudson at the one Hudsonian. Homeboy is mouthing words over there. I have no clue what he's doing. He's weird.
Ooh, what?
Anyway, again, this has been Start, Sit, Different Day. Good luck tomorrow or this week. And good luck if you're headed to the playoffs.
See you, Pete.